If you feel fine, but basic life feels heavier, that's not laziness. Like, you're not crying all day. You're not having some dramatic breakdown. You're just tired in a way you can't explain. And suddenly, you see a text message and you don't reply. Not because you don't care. You just can't. Taking a shower feels like climbing a small mountain. Yeah, a shower. And the smallest things, like someone chewing too loud or one extra email, makes you weirdly irritated. And then you tell yourself, what is wrong with me? Why am I being like this? But what if nothing is wrong with you? What if your brain is just losing capacity? Today, I'm going to give you 10 warning signs your mental health is getting worse. And I want you to listen closely. Because the last 2 signs are the most important ones, yet the ones people often overlook. They're subtle, but they're loud signals. All right, let's break it down. Before we list anything, I want to give you a map. Because mental health doesn't usually collapse in one dramatic moment. It leaks, quietly. And most of the warning signs fall into 3 big systems. First, energy. Your internal battery starts draining faster than it recharges. Second, attention. Your brain gets noisy, scattered, like you have too many tabs open and none of them are loading. Third, connection. You start feeling less connected to people and even to yourself. Like you're present, but not really here. So yeah, today's 10 signs aren't random. They're 10 signals coming from these 3 systems. And once you see the system, you stop thinking you're just failing. You start recognizing what your brain is actually trying to tell you. All right, let's start with energy. Okay, system 1, energy. This is when your brain's battery is quietly dying, even if you're still functioning. Sign 1, everything feels meh. Things you used to enjoy don't hit the same. Music, hobbies, shows, even food. It's like someone turned the color down on your life. And yeah, this can be a mild form of anhedonia, often tied to stress overload. Not, I hate everything. More like, I can't feel the spark. Sign 2, small tasks feel enormous. Your to-do list has, like, 2 things on it. But your body reacts like you're carrying 10. Sending 1 email, making 1 appointment, folding laundry. It feels weirdly heavy because your cognitive load is already maxed out. Your brain is spending energy just to stay upright. Sign 3, sleep gets weird. You can't fall asleep, or you crash at random times, or you sleep a lot and still wake up foggy. Stress messes with your circadian rhythm, and once your sleep-wake cycle gets scrambled, everything else gets harder to regulate. Yeah, sleep is like the foundation. When it cracks, the whole house shakes. Sign 4, you're drained even when you shouldn't be. You slept, you ate, you did the healthy things, and you still feel exhausted. That's not just tiredness, that's mental exhaustion. Long-term stress can make your brain feel like it's walking uphill all day. And if you're relating to even 2 of these, listen. Because the next signs explain something people don't expect. Why your brain suddenly can't focus anymore. All right, system 2, attention. This is when your brain isn't just tired, it's noisy. It can't hold a single thread for long. Sign 5, anxiety becomes the background noise. Not always a full panic attack. More like an app running in the background, constantly draining battery. You wake up and there's this tight feeling, this sense of something's wrong, even if you can't name it. And your body joins in. Your heart rate spikes, your breathing gets shallow, maybe you feel nauseous or shaky. Yeah, anxiety doesn't just live in your thoughts, it lives in your nervous system. Sign 6, you feel mentally scattered. Like you've got 15 tabs open in your head and none of them are loading. You try to focus, but your mind keeps hopping. One thought triggers another, then another, and suddenly you're overwhelmed by your own brain. Psychologically, it's often because you can't find your center. Your system doesn't feel settled enough to organize itself. Sign 7. You can't pay attention the way you used to. You read a paragraph and realize you absorbed nothing. So you reread it and still nothing. You start a task, drift, come back, drift again. Stress, anxiety, depression, poor sleep, all of that can hijack attention. In fact, Harley therapy literally breaks it down into a numbered list of common mental health conditions that can show up as I can't focus, including adult ADHD and depression, anxiety right at the top. So, if this is new for you, it might be a sign your mental health is under strain. And when attention collapses like this, one thing often happens next. You start pulling away. Not because you don't care, because connection starts to feel expensive. System 3. Connection. This is where things get sneaky, because from the outside you might look normal, but inside you feel farther away from life. Sign 8. Socializing feels like a cost, not a boost. You start avoiding people, not because you hate them, not because you're suddenly antisocial. It's just interacting feels exhausting. Your social battery drains faster, and even a quick conversation can feel like work. And here's the twist. Isolation can feel easier in the moment, but it usually makes symptoms worse. Your world gets smaller, and your mind gets louder. Sign 9. Your impulse control starts slipping. You're buying things you don't need. You're binge watching, doom scrolling, gaming for hours, snacking when you're not hungry, and you might judge yourself like, why can't I stop? But often, this is your brain trying to self-medicate. It's hunting for fast dopamine, a quick hit of relief, because your system feels depleted. It's not a moral failure, it's a coping signal. Sign 10. You don't feel grounded. This one is hard to describe, but if you felt it, you know, it's like you're floating through your day. You're doing things, saying words, showing up, but you don't feel anchored. And according to Mind Body Green contributor Irene Langeveld, grounding often gets hard for 3 common reasons. You're physically uncomfortable, you're emotionally flooded, or a part of you feels broken or out of place. That's usually your nervous system losing its sense of safety. And when safety drops, your brain shifts into survival mode. And connection, focus, joy, all get harder. So now you've got the full pattern. Energy drains, attention collapses, connection disconnects. But here's the important part. What do you do with that information? Because this isn't about diagnosing yourself. It's about checking the direction you're headed. And now, quick check-in. 30 seconds. Think back through the 10 signs we just covered and count how many feel true for you recently. Not once in a while. Not on a random bad day. I mean, lately. If you relate to 0 to 3 signs, that's usually strain. Your system is stressed, but it's still holding. If you relate to 4 to 6, that's a signal your system is overloaded. You're running close to empty, and things may keep slipping if nothing changes. And if you relate to 7 or more, yeah, that's often a sign it's time to get support. Not because you're failing, because your brain is asking for backup. And I want to be super clear. This isn't a diagnosis. It's a direction check. It tells you whether you're drifting toward burnout or moving back toward stability. And once you know the direction, you can actually do something about it. Yeah, you're not weak. You're getting signals. Mental health decline isn't a personality flaw. It's a system under load. So tell me in the comments, which one hit you most? Energy, attention, or connection? And if this helped you feel understood, subscribe to PsychPrac. We don't just talk about behavior. We decode the brain behind it.